my next guest had his breakout role in the award-winning film The Blind Side, and then he went on to star in the hit TV show The Walking Dead. What you might not know, however, is how closely his reality has mirrored those stories of survival. Here to discuss his autobiography, Blindsided by The Walking Dead, is actor IronE Singleton. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
IronE, such an interesting, sort of like a rapper's name, right?
Kind of, sort of.
Iron and then a big E.
Yeah.
But that's not your real name.
That's not my real name, no. My government name is Robert. But IronE, I came up with that in 2001 when I went to LA.
Oh.
I wanted something to serve as an icebreaker. So IronE means that which is not expected. Mm-hmm. And also, I've coined the term to mean an eagle in flight with an unbroken spirit. Given all of my situation, what I've been through, coming up in a destitute situation, dealing with abuse, violence, drugs, and all of that stuff, statistics said that I would not make it out of that situation.
That's right.
But I'm here talking to the one and only Joe Behar.
But tell me the specifics of your childhood. I mean, tell me, like, what was it?
I sold drugs.
How old were you at that age?
I was 15 when I first started to sell drugs.
And why did you do that?
Well, it was all around me. It was part of my environment.
Where'd you grow up?
Perry Homes, Atlanta, Georgia, inner city of Atlanta.
Uh-huh. So you were selling drugs at 15. Were you using drugs too?
No, I never used drugs.
Smart.
A lot of people, well, thank you. I said, no, I can't use drugs because my mom was on drugs and my uncle, I had a few uncles on drugs. I had my cousins, some cousins, they were on drugs. So I said, if I use drugs, that's just not the route to go. I'll end up in a worse situation.
Yeah.
If this is not bad, I mean, it could get worse than that. You
that
get
was
on the drugs.
I think you have probably a very innate intelligence, which said to yourself, you can be an entrepreneur with drugs, albeit it's being illegal, but you knew better than to take them. Your dad, where was he?
He was out of the picture. I saw him twice in my life. I saw him maybe when I was 7, and then I saw him again when I was 11. And he imparted 2 bits of wisdom to me. He told me to always brush my teeth. And the second bit is it's not a bit of wisdom, but he introduced me to my paternal aunt, his sister, and my grandmother, his mother.
Uh-huh.
So those are 2 great things. But he lived in Texas. He was somewhere in Texas.
I see.
We didn't have a relationship.
No relationship. But you had a relationship with his side of the family.
His side of the family, more so with, like I said, his sister and his mother. So that was a great thing because I looked at that environment like the Beverly Hills of Atlanta. And it was a great experience because the grass was cut, it smelled good outside,
yeah.
The birds were chirping and singing every day. There was no dump. The city, you know, I lived right in front of the city dump. So there was no dump to smell every day over there.
Yeah.
It was just like a normal life. And I was like, I can get used to this. This is what I want. This is something.
So you used to see them, what, on weekends?
Weekends and summers. I couldn't wait until summertime.
Why didn't you just move in with them?
Well, they wouldn't let, my mother wouldn't let me. They would. My mother, my grandmother, they wouldn't let me. My mother would say, well, you're wearing out the welcome because I started to go over there so much.
They liked it, though.
So, who liked it?
Your grandma.
My grandmother, yeah. Oh, they loved when I came over. I actually moved with them in 10th grade because I got tired of telling people I lived in the project. So I said, I want to move over there. I moved over there for a couple of months, but it was like 45 minutes away from my high school. I said, I got to go back. It's too far to travel every day, walk down a dark road at 5 o'clock in the morning, get back, it's dark, walk down another dark road because the transit, local transit did not go all the way to my paternal aunt's house.
I see.
So I said, no, this is too much for me.
Now, why wouldn't your mother let you just go there?
I don't know.
I mean, she was not in good shape, your mother.
Right, she was not. That is something, that's one of the questions I would have asked her if she had survived this long.
She died young?
She died at 36.
Oh, of drug overdose?
HIV.
HIV
complications.
I see. And she was not particularly maternal towards you either, according to what I read.
No, no, she just didn't express herself that way. You know, she had a really tough, rough upbringing, so, and then the drugs. I think she found out about the HIV, and so from that point on, her life was just on the decline. And it came out in her expression towards us, me and my brother, and abuse, and verbal abuse, physical abuse, so on and so forth.
And yet you dedicate the book to her.
I dedicate the book to her.
Because you only have one mother.
She's my mother.
She's your mommy.
I will love her.
That's
forever.
right. She is your mother. But it's a very interesting story how you, I mean, a lot of people, when you talk to them, there's one person in their life who saves them. You know, it could be a teacher sometimes. In this case, it's your grandmother and your aunts. It's very important to have somebody who comes in and rescues you.
Yes, without a doubt. I think that, I mean, ultimately God, and, you know, I mean, that's an abstract term, But I think that there's an overwhelming power, something that is bigger than all of us as human beings. And God chose to use all of these individuals as vessels to inspire me. So not just my paternal aunt, not just my paternal grandmother, but my uncle, and even negative things. I got messages from negative things. If I saw something negative, I said, that's something I don't want to have any part in. So that's just
Again, it goes back to your smarts. But you know, you'll hear stories about, like I have a friend whose mother was schizophrenic. Really, really off the wall schizophrenic, and yet he survived to become an extremely successful human being and a very together person and family man, etc. And I said to him, you know, what helped you? What made you do that? And he said he thinks that some kids are just born with a very strong constitution and good brains. And I think that's probably, that applies to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And then you were lucky along the way to have these good family members. So now you have your own children.
I have my own children. I have 3 kids, beautiful children, Heaven, Nevaeh, which is the opposite. Oh, there you go. Hey.
Nevaeh is heaven backwards.
It's heaven backwards, right?
Yeah.
And Ethereal Zephyr, which is heavenly. We don't want to leave him out of the equation. So
Ethereal is the boy?
Ethereal is the boy. So they're 15, 12, and 9 respectively. So
how do you raise them, knowing what you know now? How do you protect them from, you know, any kind of adversity?
Communication. I communicate with them about everything, something that was not done for me. You know, my mom didn't talk about many things because she wasn't an educated woman. So, like, even with simple arithmetic, I'd come home and ask a question about math or something. She didn't know the answer, so her thing was, why you ask me?
Yeah.
Don't you have a teacher? And, you know, that was her way. That was a defense mechanism. And I figured that out later on. I realized that's what that was about. But my kids' communication is the key. We just talk about everything. I leave the floor open. And I try my best to be open-minded about everything.
And let them feel free to tell you stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, because if they don't tell you stuff, then they're in trouble.
Yes, which is another story, but for another show.
All right. I enjoyed this talk with you, and the book is terrific. Good luck with this.
Thank you so much.
IronE's book, Blindsided by the Walking Dead, is available now. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Next up, what do